How's everybody doing today? All right, well, I've got this LiftMaster from Chamberlain, and apparently the gear snapped on it. Take a look over here. You see I've got a new spring on. It originally had a dual spring setup like this one. But one of them failed, and unfortunately when that happened, the door still worked. And because of that, it was going up and down, but it stressed out the motor and caused gear to break. So that's got to be replaced. Try to get a shot of this, but you can see that's tilted pretty good in there. So I'm going to have to loosen up the chain, get that off. I already have the part. I would normally replace a garage door spring myself. Like I said, the one that was on here was broken. But since there was dual springs, the other one had not broken and was under considerable strain. So I opted to have someone professionally do it for me. The guy was really great, and then he did key me on to the fact that this gear assembly up here was bent and broke. And it actually still turns, but the entire shaft is bent. So anyway, he got me the part. He had one on the truck and said it was definitely something I could do myself. So I'm gonna do it myself. All right, got to loosen the chain, break the nut loose. This is just the locking nut. All right, so already loosened the jam nut. Now we have to loosen the chain. Once the chain is sufficiently loose, you should be able just to pull it off of the gear. Looks a little harder than it is, but we'll get it. Okay, now we're going to remove the bolts here on the outside. This whole piece should come down. There's bolts on both sides. All right, I didn't mention earlier, but I did unplug this from the ceiling. There's no chance of it starting up. There are 3 more screws in the back that apparently need to be taken off. This cover is hanging up on the plate. So there's 1 here in the middle and 2 on the top corners. We're going to take those off right now. Might be kind of hard to see, but there's 1 more in the center back here that I have to get from the front. So we're going to spin the ladder around and go get them. There is a little clip on the end of this shaft here, and he just slides out a little retainer. And the new shaft has it on there, so if you break it, it's not a big deal. If you break this one getting it off. Yeah, it fell, but I still have it. All right, so I gotta take that out first. Now I gotta take out the screws up here that hold this in, and then the whole thing should pull out through the top. There's 4 of these guys right here. So it looks like I'll have to get a ratchet or something for that. All right. There was actually only 3 screws, not 4. Pull this out. I was playing with it already and the gear already fell off, rolled on the floor, the small one. But anyway, that's all it takes to get that out of there. Alright, so here's our new gear. It's got the drive gear on the end with the clips. We're going to pop this clip off of here and we'll get them installed. Before I get too far, I want to mention you need to put grease on all these plastic gears because it's plastic on plastic. I'm going to do this after I get it installed. You could do it beforehand, but I don't want to make that big of a mess. So I'm going to try putting it on afterwards. I don't know if you can see that little gear that I pressed up on here, but when you get it lined up, it'll line up with a hole in the shaft. And when you put it on there, it's going to turn because it's a little worm gear. But it has to engage with the other gear that's already there. So you have to play around with it, but that hole has to line up because that's how the retainer clip goes on. I'm gonna push that retainer clip in there right now. Boom, done. So that's locked in. I just gotta put the screws in up top. All right, so put some gobs of grease on the gear there, on the little gear there, on the big gear up there. She should be sufficiently greased. Now we're going to work on putting the chain back on. Remember, those 3 bolts, they go on from the bottom. So this plate where it comes through, that's the actual thread. So you have to line that up. There's some additional holes in here, maybe for a different application. But remember, the bolts that come to the bottom have got to go through this raised part. All right, pro tip here. This little hole is for the dust cover. Yeah, I didn't put it in the right spot, but it doesn't affect the function. I just won't have a dust cover. Oh well. All right, so I'm gonna plug it in. I got it all back together. When I plug it in, it shouldn't do anything. It should just sit there. And here we go. The light came on and that was it. So you can see I got the chain tight, but not overly tight. You just don't want it to drag on the rail. Everything's clear in here, so that little dust cover or snag cover, whatever it is, it'll be fine. Nothing's in the way. Usually my cord is tied up with a zip tie, so I'll do that when I'm done here. I'll tie him up. He'll be out of the way. For right now, he can just hang. So let's go press the button and see what happens. Alright, she's going up. See if she stops. So I did it with the door down and locked where it had not been before. And I was told if you do that, then your timing should be really, really close. That we don't lose where it's at. And she shut just fine. Making a little noise, that clickety-click sound. I'm not sure. Hard to say. I did not replace the other worm gear. It did come with one, but it sounds like the noise is actually from up on top. So not completely concerned. It's just a garage door opener. It should work fine for a while. All right, I realized I didn't have an outro on my video. It just kind of cut off abruptly. I did get the cable tied up there. It's been actually a couple months since I did the repair. It's been working great without any problems. The reason I made this channel is because I do a lot of repairs around the house myself. And this was one that I thought I'd give a try to and see how it worked out. And, give a thumbs up. Follow me if you like. I got some more videos coming up. You may have seen in the background, you may have seen my 68 GTO. It's pretty much parked for the winter now. I've got some projects planned for that, some sound editing for the roof inside. I don't have a headliner in there yet, so I've got some projects coming up on that yet. And we'll, if plans go right, there's going to be an engine and transmission swap on this this winter as well. Not a swap, actually just a rebuild. So hopefully that turns out. Comments and concerns about the video. I know the video was a little on the shaky side. I had a different camera. This one should be a little bit better. I'm learning. The audio sounded pretty good when I was processing it, but let me know. I appreciate any comments you guys have. Again, thank you very much. My name is Patrick, and you guys have a great day, and see you in the next video.